Alright, welcome everyone to the Comic Book ASM Artist. We are doing our weekly Thursday hangout. As always, ask me any questions you might have, any thoughts, comments. I will just be here hanging out, reading some stuff. Doesn't look like anyone's hopped on yet, so I don't really want to go into too much. Tomorrow I will be picking up my books for payday, so that'll be fun. I think I have maybe 12 or 16 books to pick up for this week. So stuff from last week plus this week. Welcome. Feel free to. Oh, hey, Keem. How are you doing, buddy? Feel free. Any comments or suggestions? It looks like a couple more people are coming in here. But as always, nothing big lined up. Just doing my hangout with you guys. I always try to make sure to keep this commitment to just have a. I'm doing well, Keem. Thank you. Just having my weekly commitment to you guys where we hang out because I don't get to do that in my other videos. They're more the relaxation side of things, but this is just us talking fan to fan. So I love it. It's probably one of my favorite things that I do. Definitely like helping you guys relax and sleep, but I also like hearing your thoughts and just regular everyday stuff from you all. So oh. Yeah, make sure to plug it in or something, buddy. But if you hear any noise in the background, we have restoration or, I don't know, remodeling something going on upstairs. So if you hear loud noises and yelling or whatever, that's probably what it is. Hey, Mango, how are you doing, buddy? It's weird. It keeps posting the same message like twice in a row, kind of. Well, not really like on the stream, but it'll show it and then it'll show it bumped a little. So it's like I'll read the same comment twice in a row. But yeah, it's just saying nothing really huge, just our normal hangout here. I was saying tomorrow is going to be my pickup for my books. I'm doing well, Mango. Thank you. I always pick up my books every 2 weeks when I have payday. So tomorrow is going to be a payday, so I'll pick those up. I might have the reprint of the Turtles body count story. I don't know if you guys remember that one or not. It came out, I want to say early 90s. It was like a Simon Beasley, very rough and tumble attitude. It's like a story features Casey Jones and Raphael, and it's supposed to be really, really brutal. I've never read it. I've always wanted to, but I've heard it's like one of those classic fan favorites. So I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, I'll have it. I don't know if it's come out yet or not. It was supposed to come out earlier in the month, and then I know that they bumped it. So I don't know if that'll be in my pull list tomorrow or not. But it's supposed to come out sometime this month, and we're getting towards the end of this month. So maybe it'll be there. Hopefully. But I'm trying to think. I don't really remember what else is really out. Everything just kind of blends together. I have mostly just been catching up on my other books. I read. What I need to do is just kind of set aside a stack and maybe do reviews on it when I'm doing my hangouts. Maybe I don't know if that's constructive, but I don't want to spoil things either. But where I'm sitting at now, I mostly just have mostly DC Age of Heroes stuff to catch up on. I caught up on like my Batman, my Superman, Super Sons was good. I still have Batwoman I have to read. I've got the Spawn stuff I still have to read and the Rocco books, but everything else I've caught up on. Um, the Turtle stuff is the last stuff that I have. I haven't boxed it up yet. So that's the most recent stuff I read, and it was pretty good. I was pretty pleased with it. I heard some not shining reviews about it, but I don't know. I really do like the Turtles comics universe from IDW. Well, that's good. I always worry about spoiling stuff. Welcome back, Keem. So, whenever you're watching your review videos, Mango, are they ones from stuff that you've already read, or are there things you're interested in, or like for you, do you typically buy your books when they come out, or do you wait a month, or what do you typically do? Because for me, like sometimes I'll get aggravated, but some people like they'll put like right in their right in either the video title or right in the thumbnail they'll show like an important page from the book, or like something that whenever they had Superman #2, I believe it was, came out with the nod to the old Christopher Reeves villain. That I don't even want to spoil that, but that was something that was spoiled for me in this past issue. Like that was something that I was like, oh man, that if I wasn't subbed to that channel, I wouldn't have seen it. So I always try to not spoil everyone's experience. I want to try to provide enough of something to help get you guys interested. So that's the yelling I'm talking about. We've got, I have people working, so I don't know if they're gonna get loud. I'm gonna read for a minute here, see what you guys are saying. All right, so you like stuff that's half spoilerly. Okay, so nothing that's gonna like ruin a major plot point, but enough to be like, hey, this book is not so great. Stay away. I would assume. And Mango, you said new, interesting mainly. I mean, are you following monthly books, or do you typically get trades, or yeah? Because like for me, it's like I'm pretty committed to the ones I have. I have that tendency to try to have a complete run if I can, or it's very rare for me, even on a book that I'm on the fence about, just to totally drop it. Especially when I know that it's ending soon, I'll just kind of stick with it. Like I'm kind of middling on the DC Age of New Age of Hero stuff. It's okay. Some of it is better than others of it, I think. But everything is more or less either going to go to 6 or to 12. So, but if they were going for 20 or 50 issues, I probably wouldn't be continuing to pick them up. But since I know like it's probably going to end on 12, that's why I'm just like, okay, well I'll just get the run and call it good. And I'm actually going to give those ones to my kids to add to their collection. So my older son, he really is trying to collect. Yeah, Sideways is probably one of the better ones. I like Sideways a lot. Silencer is good. Um, the Terrifics is really fun if you like Fantastic Four type stuff. It's very cosmic, adventure-y, and Damage is pretty good too if you're a huge Hulk person. So I think those are the main ones. The other ones I haven't really connected with. I don't know what's going on with the Unexpected. The artwork is really nice, but I can't really attach to the story. The Immortal Min is kind of already knowing that it's going to be done after issue 6, just kind of puts me off of it. There's some of the characters that look really cool in it, but I'm not really invested in anyone really. I'm invested in the characters of Damage and the Silencer and Sideways. I really like those characters. I like them enough to continue to want to read those. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. You said Dark Arc. What is that one, Mango? Dark Arc. Is that am I reading that right, or is that a typo, or? And then if like there's like a mini series or something like that, I'll pick that up just because I know like it's a limited thing. Well, that's good. Yeah, I hear good things about Hawkman. I'm really I can't commit to too many more books type of thing. I've already decided to plunge back into do a little bit of Marvel since they're kind of cleaning up things a bit. It's not amazing right now, but it's at least where I don't feel like I'm totally in the woods when I'm reading it. They're trying to, provide slight breadcrumbs to appease us older fans. So that's where I'm at with it. I have, like I said, not really blown away. It's an aftershock book about no. I have not heard of that, Mango. I'm actually going to look that up now that you've mentioned it. So I'm trying to remember. Was it Scott Daniel? Maybe he's actually putting out a random Gospel of Jesus book. I think around December. He shared it on his Facebook page today. I thought that was really interesting. I didn't expect to see that on my feed, so I thought that was really random. Um, I think it's coming out for like Christmas time. Um, oh, you're 9 issues in. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I haven't heard of it, so. But I mean, I'm pretty much just getting your standard stuff. But I am just because it's a change of pace. I find myself reading the Marvel stuff more immediately just because I haven't been picking it up. So and I it's interesting where Spider-Man's gone right now. I guess you could call it formulaic or whatever, but I liked the twist that they put on this last issue here. I don't want to spoil too much, but I did enjoy Swamp Thing Winter Special makes me. Yes, Swamp Thing is a very interesting character. I don't know if he is doing a lot in the Justice League Dark. I know he was on the cover, I want to say. I think if you're interested in him, that's probably the book to check out until hopefully in the future he'll have an ongoing again. I believe if they do one, it'll probably be Snyder and Capullo. They've really been kind of, snickering behind their backs about that one. So I don't know if they're going to do that or not, but it could be. Oh, okay. Well, that still sounds interesting, though, Mango. Regardless. I remember they put out there was a thing called the manga Bible or manga, however you want to pronounce it, but the manga Bible back in I think it was 2004 by Siku, who was an artist for the Judge Dredd uh, books back in the day. So I thought that was really interesting that he was doing that because those comics are known for being really gritty, and he had a really interesting, highly stylized take on the Bible. It wasn't like complete, but there was enough of it there that was interesting. Oh, that was your first. That was your first comic you ever got, Keem? That's pretty cool. Yeah, mine much earlier. There was quite a few of them, and I have always thought about trying to do like the Bible completely and just illustrating the whole thing and doing it with a mindset of where it is um, not really sanitized, where it's very literal with the text and stuff. But that would be a huge project to undertake. I think I need to, continue to work more on my skill because especially with that one, it would be multiple volume type series thing, and I really want it. If I do it, I want to do it where it stands out as something that is a hallmark, rather than me still figuring out the things. Because like I said before, like the bullets definitely. I have a lot of work I have to do regarding learning anatomy and stuff like that, but I don't want to be paralyzed and worry about perfection in regards to creating. So the bowl is really where I'm just throwing everything in there and learning as I go. And I just saying, hey, this is my project. If you want to see me grow as an artist, this is the one to watch. And then, maybe further on down the line when I'm more polished, I'll probably continue to do the bowl, but then maybe work on some big, huge collection type of thing, like maybe doing that full Bible. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, exactly. But there's a way to do it where it's not gratuitous either. Like you can do it where it airs on like the side of PG-13 stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't make it like explicit with like Song of Solomon stuff, things like that. But you can do things where you have your clever camera angles and stuff like that. So, but I don't want to pull it out because it's in there for a reason. I don't want to sanitize it. So, but and now I have to like scroll down to yeah, the Old Testament has a ton of incredible stuff. New Testament, the New Testament, there's not a lot there to work with regarding illustration. Most of it is letters open to churches about, growing Christians and things like that, and your faith and stuff like that. But yeah, the Old Testament definitely there's tons of great material there to illustrate. So New Testament has like Revelation, the Gospel of Jesus, and then like the shipwreck and all that stuff, the forming with all the apostles and disciples, all that good stuff. But yeah, the letters are would be you'd have to be a little bit more creative trying to figure out how to illustrate that stuff. So indeed. But it's good stuff, but it's very hard to turn that into something interesting and actiony. I have seen some people who have illustrated it. One of them was really really text heavy though. It was still good. I appreciate anyone who wants to creatively work on that. It's a huge part of my life, so I can appreciate anyone who wants to put effort into sharing that with other people. So have you seen Sergio Carrillo's work, Keem? He's a Christian artist. He did the Action Bible, but he actually when he goes to cons and stuff, he does prints where he'll show like Captain America praying, and he'll have like Jesus touching his shoulder, or like Spider Man, and just like all of like the really big heroes. He has like prints he's made of like pretty much all of them individually praying, and they're pretty cool. And someone has like taken those images and tried to make T-shirts without his permission and stuff. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, my favorite one is the Captain America one. But he's my favorite superhero, so I think that's kind of why I enjoy that one so much. Yeah, you can find him on YouTube, or not YouTube, but on Facebook. You just Sergio Carello, and he has his. If you just look at his posts, and I might actually be able to send you the link or something. I know you've connected with me on Facebook as well, so I might be able to send you in that direction. So, and he was actually recommended to me through Steve Epting when I talked to him several years ago when I was in Bible college about doing a Bible project, and he's just like, well, yeah, you might want to check out this guy because he is at the time that wasn't completed yet, and he was working on it, so he wanted me to see what he was doing. So, and then they put one out way back, and I want to say it was the '70s by Joe Kubert or Kubert, and that was pretty cool. And it was a lot of the earlier Old Testament stuff, like just the first little bit, Adam and Eve and David and Goliath and that sort of stuff. And it was actually in a larger format. It was almost like the size of like a newspaper page, and it wasn't a really thick book, but it was a really large book. And I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'm forgetting, but it was definitely really cool, and you could tell that there was a lot of you know passion behind it. So really cool. But yeah, I can't keep track of what the heck I'm getting this week though, other than maybe that Turtles body count book, maybe. And like I said, I don't know if that's even shipped yet or not. So, but I think there's a new Spider-Man. Maybe there's a new Hulk. I can't even remember. But I don't think there's like any of the DC Age of Heroes stuff, because that is pretty much all I have left in my stack at this point. So I don't think it's any of that, but I am unclear. But yeah, yeah. What type of stuff do you guys want to see for future reads on the channel? We're almost through with the 1602. We have two more chapters in here. I don't know if I want to do them in a row. I think I liked how I did it, where I had the break where I read Son of the Demon and then went back to it, just kind of where you're not 100% burnt out. It takes us longer to get through it, but it kind of gives people time to catch up on it as well. So that's kind of why I did it too. So I might do that. But yeah, I would love to do more readings, but I want to know what you guys want to see. So you're actually interested in watching the videos. So, but and then the gum chewing video, I guess people have been enjoying that one. It's been doing really well. So I don't know if I'll do one of those a month or one every couple of weeks. I think that the channel needs to do some more of that type of stuff, though. It really draws in more people who are into ASMR. So, but I don't want to, have this huge divide and weird people out and stuff. I try to make this a pretty open space. But yeah, So the next one I'll do will probably be, I have like some random Avengers Ziploc baggies from the Infinity War that have the characters on it. So I'll probably do like some bag crinkling and stuff for 20 or so minutes. So, but I'm trying to branch out because I know some of you are here for that side of things. So I'm trying to be receptive to that. So, but the bulk campaign has, I think, 10 days left on it. We are at you like the sound finales at the end. Okay, so sounds like you're really into the sound side of things too. Then that's the whole thing. Like I'm not sure what percent of the viewers really dig the sounds and what people are just like, oh gosh, he's whispering again, you know. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and I guess the only way to know is for me to kind of throw those out, you know, as long as I preface it with a warning where I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to be doing this. Because I don't want you to put on the headphones and expect it to be like a reading video, and you know, suddenly I'm eating, you know, a freaking bag of chips in your ear, and you're like, what the crap is this, you know? But, you know, so long as I'm like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. Please, if this is not something you're into, find another video type of thing. I think that works okay. But yeah, some of you like you guys just now, you're like, I really like that. I didn't think I would, but it was cool. So that's nice. That makes me happy that it was something that you inadvertently enjoyed. So pretty cool. So I think I was in mid thought though. I forgot. Oh yeah, yeah. The bull campaign. We're at 9:45 right now. 10 days left. So of course, you know, if you haven't gotten it yet, you've got 10 days. Tell your family and friends all that good stuff. I still am trying to do the head sketch giveaway with it, a full color head sketch that is not even anywhere available on the campaign. I have black and white as a tier, but I don't have a full color head sketch unless you're buying an original page, which is, you know, considerably higher. So if you want a chance to get that, we got to get our stretch goal up to 2,000 hopefully, but I will probably when we end it, I'll probably do one just with what we have, just as a thank you for your support, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, okay, the candy thing, cool. I'll try that as well. I'm not sure what I might use like lifesavers or something, I don't know. Yeah, right now it's at 9:45. That's correct. So we're really close to 1,000. The initial stretch I had it at is 2,000. Yeah, it's doing really well. Definitely better than I had anticipated. But you know, I was playing it safe with the $500 goal because I'm literally, you know, just right out of the woods. And you know, I'm not like an industry pro or anything. I'm just a guy who likes comics, who's doing my thing and putting some stuff out there. I'm going to continue to. Like, that's the thing. Even if the project had failed, I wasn't going to let that discourage me. I'm going to continue to make these because I found the way to do it. And if any of you want to do it, I can, you know, take you through those steps and help you out as well, because in this day and age it is very, very feasible and very manageable to do your own book. So whether you want to do that 100 days method where you work on it for 100 days for 30 minutes a day, in the future I'll probably try to do 50 days for an hour a day maybe. I don't know, it felt like the 100 days I was kind of stretching it out so I had something to post every day in the Facebook group. But I think probably if you're working on it for an hour for 50 days, then that'd probably be better. But, you know, 30 minutes is a nice little chunk. It's very doable. Like I said, it's, you know, shorter than most Netflix shows people binge. So, you know, was there any point during the 100-day thing where you almost gave up? No, I mean, I got more and more encouraged because I loved seeing that progress, you know. I think the thing too, like I literally just I do everything here in my bed. You know, I make my videos here in my bed. You guys always see that lap board. I literally just throw that right up here. I work from my bed on my page, so it's all very convenient for me. You know, I don't have to go to another room or go off site to be in my studio to work on this and that. So I mean, it's literally very, very accessible for me. You know, there'd be points where you know, I would get ready. How big is the board? Let's see. So here's the size. I don't know the dimensions of it though. I know that a standard comic board is 11 by 17 and it typically fills this space here. I might actually have a page, but I actually worked on smaller boards myself. I just use comic backing boards. That's not at all how industry pros do it. They use the large board because it shrinks down the artwork, the line work. It makes it look cleaner and more precise. So, I'm sure I'll have people who are critical and they'll say what they'll say about my book, but that's okay. But here's the point of reference here. So this is like an actual 11 by 17 page there. And then you've got, some room on either side there. So, but for me, I just did the whole thing on these little boards here. So, which is like this is half the size of the comic board. So, but my thing, I was using color pencils. So because of that, I had a lot of surface area I had to cover, so it was almost better, I think, to use a smaller board. The main thing you have to consider when you're doing any layouts is you have to have about an inch all the way around to leave room for error. If stuff gets cut off, you don't want to put any crucial details like face work or mouths or whatever. You don't have any of that, and you don't want to have any dialogue right there. You want to push it in a little bit, about an inch all the way around, inch to half inch. I'd say an inch just to play it safe. But if you're using the actual boards here, there's little lines to help you that tell you. But since I was using a comic board, I didn't have that. I just had to kind of be like, well, I should probably, tuck everything in a little bit. And it worked out for my book. I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. So, considering I just did it on a little board in my lap, on my bed, I'd say not too bad. So, let me check the yeah, I mean, so I would say, what was that? So, 11, yeah, so 17 inches long is how long the board is, and then maybe what? I mean, that's just a square, right? Is it 17 by 17 maybe? Let's see. Yeah, because this is the other way. So, yeah, it's a 17 by 17 artboard, so. But it's not really heavy either. This is like just it's not wood per se, I don't think. I think it's like I don't know what the heck it is, but it's not really heavy, so it doesn't really impede me. And then now I have this nice ring light too, so I can see better with the lighting, because that was an issue. But I'll probably be doing more drawing videos as well, but I don't want to spoil things for it, so that's a piece I have to wrestle with. But as soon as you all get your number one, you'll be seeing a lot more appearances of like the actual character on the channel, because the suit reveal is a huge part of the first issue. So, and I don't want to ruin that. So that's the main reason for not seeing much of him on the channel or anything. That wasn't the main reason for the choice. For me, it was to kind of like save on time and stuff. And I mean, I have like 100 count of these right now, so I had a full supply of these boards. But it was just kind of to see if I could do it on a smaller thing. I read from a few other people who were getting frustrated trying to use the larger paper, and it was just seeming to take so long. And the fact that I had the time constraint, I was trying to make sure that that I would complete the goal in that 100 days. And like I said, I think. But the reason why it maybe seemed like it was taking too long with 100 days is because I was working on that smaller board. But I think I will try it on on my next go around on the bigger pages and see how it works. The only issue is trying to ship original pages in this bigger size as opposed to the comic board size will be harder. I guess like Gary Shipman, he's a great artist and he's got a YouTube channel as well. Check him out if you haven't. He's been talking with me and supported my book and stuff like that. And I asked him yesterday, and he actually rolls his originals. So, but I don't know if I want to do that because mine it actually has the colored pencils on there, and it actually some of it can come off a little bit. So that's a part to think about. So I don't know if they make like a longer thing to package your 11 by 17 art in, but that's really the main part for me. I wanna maximize where if someone wants art they can get it. That's a piece of it that is a little bit scary to me, is trying to figure out shipping on something bigger like that. So let's see the big. Oh, for the boards, well, if you have 11 by 17, that should be fine because that is the actual length of this here. So, but I mean, if you go to like a local art store, you'll probably see these are usually around $20 or so. So check it out. I actually got this as a gift for Christmas like 7 years ago from my wife. So I wouldn't have a clue. Well, that's fine, Mango. Like, I mean, and you'll see it with my thing. My book is totally for people to see it. And I mean, if you pick it apart, you'll be like, holy crap, I could do this. Like, that's the point of it. Like, I'm not proclaiming to be like this big professional guy. I'm a guy who says, hey, you want to make a freaking book? Make a book. Like, you'll see, like, I don't have a ton of background work and stuff like that. But I mean, if you go back and if you look at like anything from back in the day, whether it's like Batman's first appearance, Superman's first appearance, Charlie Brown, Garfield, whatever, you go back to those early days, and those artists, they were still figuring it out when they started. They didn't have all the crazy perspective figured out. They didn't have everything polished. The main thing for them was getting that idea down on the paper and growing it and learning and growing. And I think that's the major thing. A lot of us, we're consuming the stuff by these people who've been in the industry for 25 years or whatever. We're like, oh, I could never do that. Well, it's like, well, remember, they've been doing this for a long, long time, So it's like, it's only natural. You're going to get better over time, but don't let that keep you from, from putting your book out. I mean, I look at mine and I was showing it to someone in a local place, and they're like, "Well, I haven't figured out the perspective and all." I'm just like, "Well, if you look, there's maybe about 7 panels in my story where I actually have a detailed background going on. Like, don't let that keep you from making your story. If you just want to focus on the characters and telling a story with the emotions and the actions, by all means. Here's a prime example here. I've made it interesting by having the colors, and there's a little color theory. He's yelling at him here, so it's red for anger, and then the bottom two are of dark pink, and then pink for being humiliated for having the milk poured on his head here. But there's nothing there going on regarding any sort of detailed background. I had some fun with doing some color choices there, but I didn't let background stuff keep me from doing it. So by all means, tell your story. Work on your characters there, work on their emotions, whatever, all that good stuff, but make your stuff. Yeah, that was a new one, wasn't it? So I just thought that was a prime example. So let me look up, I gotta read a little bit, but by all means, Mango, yeah, if you want to make a book, make a book. And then the thing too, in the back of my book is an actual thing that shows you where to go to print your book, and these guys are super reasonable. These guys, and this is reversed here, but it's Comics Wellspring, and there's a little QR at the bottom and everything. There's a site there. You can go there, and they do print runs as well as big print runs. So you can go there, and yeah, you can make your own book. So Yeah, and I mean there's a few books too that you probably they have like I think it's just like make there's a series. I'm trying to remember the names of them. I could go run it. See if I have any on my shelf real quick. I'll be right back. No. All right. Well, I actually have no clue where the books I was talking about went, but I think it's just like DC Essentials. Well, I think the one is actually buried in my comic box because I got it signed by the artist or the author as well. But I think it's just like DC Universe or something like. It's like creating comics the DC way or something like that. If you look on Amazon, you should find them just like creating DC comics or something. You'll find them, and there is like 5 or 6 of them. And then these are some other ones that are pretty good by Scott McCloud. And he actually put out a third one I don't have. Understanding Comics. And then Making Comics. This is the first one he did. And then the newer one is Reinventing Comics, which I don't own. Other good sources, How to Make Web Comics. And these guys, they're a lot of like the original webcomics creators, so this is a really useful book as well. But yeah, I think it's like DC Essentials, or I'm trying to remember. But if you type in like creating DC comics, something like that, I think you'll find it. What format do you submit to the printer? So the printer will actually tell you. I don't actually remember off the top of my head, but if you go on Comics Wellspring, there's like a thing where you click on it for the submissions, and it actually tells you like there's a template. You drop your picture there, and then you just gather all those pages together. You save those files, and then put them in a folder, and then submit them to them. So my wife helped with that part, but yeah, the tech side is very much not my department, and my wife actually did the dialogue bubbles as well. But that's a piece like I have to work out. But and then I got there's a program called Clip Studio. Used to be Manga Studio, and on there we just got it. Actually, the this book wasn't made using that software, but for the future stuff, I will use Clip Studio, I believe, and they actually have like panel templates and dialogue bubble templates, all that good stuff. So, and they have it. I think if you have it on your iPad, it's free for 6 months. But I have like the deluxe version, and I got it 50% off. So I paid, I think like $90 or something, or maybe 80. It was like 160. But you don't need the professional program is what I got. But you don't need that to even create. You can just use the lower tier one that is, I think it's 40, or like I said, it's free for 6 months if you're using the iPad. So but yeah, and the books as well too, like they go into like there's one that's like drawing digitally and stuff like that, but it's a little more advanced. The main thing I would say is what I did literally just drew on my comic boards, and then we scanned them into the computer. We put the dialogue bubbles right over that, and after that, we checked out the Comics Wellspring. We put those files onto their template, and then we gathered them in a file and then submitted and paid and got our shipment of books. So it was pretty painless, but yeah, there's it's a little bit, like I said, the digital part was hard for me to wrap my head around, but if nothing else, if you can't get that final step where you're putting the dialogue bubbles on there, I mean, you can always do it by hand if you want. There are certain tools, like you can buy little ellipsis um, stencils and stuff to help make the dialogue bubbles and all that if you don't have a computer to that has those programs and stuff like that. But yeah, Heroes in Crisis is supposed to be about a center where the DC superheroes go that deal with like post traumatic stress disorder. But I guess something happens at the crisis center where someone gets killed, and one of the heroes is the murderer, more or less. But when it starts, I believe that they're ruling that it's either Booster Gold or Harley Quinn, but they're unsure if either one of them did it, and if they didn't do it, did they see who did it, and that sort of a thing. So the initial run or the initial pitch was just, hey, it's the Crisis Center for Heroes, but then, oh, you're very welcome, Mango. But then they pitched the part where, hey, there's a murder mystery too, which I would have been okay if it was just like the trauma center thing. If it was just the crisis center, that's enough of an interesting idea for me. Having the heroes go to a place if they're like emotionally scarred and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. So, when is it coming out? I think you asked me this last time too. I want to say in a couple months, or maybe even next month at the end of the month. Yeah, I do believe. Yeah, because yeah, I think it'd be October because last month was the first issue for it, I believe. So, and then I know that preview was for October. So yeah, should be in October, I believe. And it's by Tom King. So, and then he used to work for the CIA. So he said that this project is actually one that he drew a lot from life experience on with his own, emotional stuff he's dealt with working in the CIA and stuff. So, yes, and exactly that you're touching on the identity crisis thing, and that's what they're referencing here too. Is like, hey, if you liked Identity Crisis, then you're gonna like this. So. The main thing I wish with Identity Crisis is that Michael Turner actually did the interiors. That would have been amazing. He did do some good covers for it, though. But I remember whenever I read Identity Crisis, I bought it as the trade, and I just, consumed that thing in like an hour or two or something like that. It was very good. But I don't have it anymore. I got to rebuy it. Oh. I can't remember. Yeah. How about you guys? Or do you, Keem? What are you reading right now, buddy? I know we heard from Mango. You're reading the same stuff as Mango, or the same stuff as me. I know you're a big DC guy, so you're probably reading Superman and Batman. I haven't picked up the new Justice League yet. Oh, cool. That's cool that your school actually let you do a book report on Identity Crisis. So I remember I did one before on The Hobbit, and I did one on Animorphs, which I don't know if you guys remember Animorphs or not, but they were pretty cool back in the day. Those are the two I remember. I know I read more things, but and then I did Clockwork Orange, which was super disturbing because the whole thing's written in slang, and when you're about 20 pages in, you suddenly know exactly, you understand everything that's being said, and you learn their slang. It's really weird. Okay, that's understandable. So that's good. You mostly try to do trades then, Keem, or you doing monthly books? Yeah, I got a couple other. My mother in law got me Marvel Zombies Revisited or something. I'll show it off on my haul video, but I've never seen it before. I didn't know there were a ton of different Marvel Zombies things. I thought there were just like the two things, but apparently there's other stories besides just those two trades. So I think this was like Marvel Zombies Return or something like that. But I read the first one way back in the day, and I knew of the second one, but I didn't know about any of the others. So that was interesting. And then yeah, I've got a couple other things. I'm kicking myself. I missed out on because I always try to check out the trades they have at half price on Tuesdays. But they had like the Venom Lethal Protector trade, and it was like $8, but I didn't have $8 at the time, so I missed out on that. And then they had an out of print Carnage story. I can't remember what the name of it was though. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I just wish Marvel didn't seem to do so many big events. Like that's the thing. Like they always have to. They make it where you have to read all the other stuff for it to make more sense, which that's not cool. So it'd be like, oh, if you want to read, I don't even know, but they're like, they always have the side stuff. The last one I did, I'm trying to remember. I think the last one I did was Original Sin was the last big event one I read. But and I mean, I would like to read the others, but I know that their formatting is, hey, read all the side stories too, so you understand it better. Which I don't want to do that. When it all started, they made it nice and simple, and I could appreciate like when they did the Civil War, they had like the front lines, which was like the Daily Bugle workers covering the book, which or the event, which was really cool. I thought having the reporters' point of view for the event, I thought that was really awesome. And yeah, I mean, like they did do the things like that for even out of the gate with Civil War, but it didn't seem like it had as huge of an impact on the story. But it seems like the later ones is I don't know if it's hastily done or just not sewn together as well or something. I don't know, but that's what I feel anyway. But I liked the early one. There was just so many of them later on. But I keep seeing some other trades too. But it's hard for me to. I don't know. It's you can only get so many things. You can be a collector and all that, but you still have to be somewhat money conscious, unfortunately. So it's like I would love to follow every single thing that piques my interest, but I'm just like I really can't do that. So oh, cool. Did you? So what did you pick up, Keem? And have you read them yet? Yeah, over here school starts back up next Wednesday, I believe. So, but that's weird for me because I grew up in Mississippi, and over there we were back like the first week of August, which stunk for me because my birthday was August 1st. So we always go back to school either like 2 days before my birthday or on my birthday or something like that. So I'd be like, oh boy, my birthday is coming up, which means it's time for school. So we would get out around like May 20th, and then they would resume around August 1st. So, but up here, everything runs until I think about mid June, and then you go back. Usually that the last week of August, first week of September, which doesn't make sense. They should just do it right after Labor Day because they have the kids off for that. And it's just like, okay, well, why did we go to school for 3 days and then suddenly we stopped? Like, why don't you just have everyone go back like the Wednesday after Labor Day? Doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm not on the board of education, so my opinion doesn't matter. And then they have like, I don't know if you guys have, they have like student, or they have staff work days and stuff, and then they have early release. And when I was a kid, like there was literally like you were just out for your handful of holidays. There wasn't like, oh, we have early release on Thursday, and then we have staff work days, non-student staff work days. Like this is weird. I just don't understand it. Batman Beyond Detective King of Fear. So you got the King of Fear one. See that one? I might wait for the trade. I'm not sure. That's the Kelly Jones Batman, I believe. Justice League Dark. Okay. And I would love to pick up Batman Beyond too. I love the cartoon, but I know the in this current iteration it is not Terry McGinnis, if I'm mistaken, right? I'm trying to remember what's the current pitch for the new Batman Beyond. I don't know. I just know visually what it looks like and where it takes place is the future, obviously, but I know it's not all the same elements from the cartoon, which, like I said, I loved growing up. Yeah, most of the prestiges I try to, I don't know, like for some reason that one just strikes me as a trade one. I'm doing the same thing with the big Bane. What was it, Bane Conquest that came out? I think I'm going to do that one that for that too. Although I heard it was a good story. So Batman Beyond, and I know on the new suit, like the eyes are kind of like outside of Beyond where his eyes were in the, like he used to just have the little eyes. They've kind of stretched out a bit now. And then he has like red soles on the bottom of his feet, kind of like stickers maybe. Yes, Chuck Dixon is a good writer. He works on a lot of stuff too. Every time I think I know what he's working on, something else comes out with his name on. I'm like, oh, he's doing that too. I don't know if that's so much from like I don't know if he needs to do those projects or if he just writes to write. Like same thing. Like when I see like Scott Snyder and stuff, I'm just like, does he need to write everything? Oh, it's still Terry. I didn't know that. Is Bruce in the picture and stuff too? Like I literally have no frame of reference for the new one at all. And it's what's the current arc? Isn't it Royal Flush Gang or Scare? Is it Scarecrow? I think I remember seeing a cover for it, and I for solicitations. Well, what's crazy too, if you guys go back and you watch Batman Beyond, they kind of talk about ASMR a little bit with, I believe, with the Shriek stuff. I don't know if you guys remember, like they had a thing where they were like messing with tuning forks, and the guy was like tweaking out with this tuning fork. I don't know if you guys remember that. I can't remember which exact episode, but I believe it was the stuff with Shriek. But I always remember just like, were they talking about that then? But I haven't watched I haven't watched since since then really. But I vaguely remember them talking about like using sound as like a stimulant type of a thing. That's a new Robin arc. That's interesting. Man, yeah, I would love to check that stuff out, but just one of the many books I can't follow. I'm so sad. So, I mean, how about how many books are you guys following typically? Do you find yourselves? I think I'm maybe about around 20, maybe. I'm not sure, but I could be wrong. It seems like every time I go into my shop, I get around maybe I'm at 30. I don't know. It seems like I get around 12 to 16 books every time I go in every 2 weeks. So, But I know I'm not getting the same stuff every time. Like the Medieval Spawn was a mini series, and things like that. But I know back in the day, I used to spend an inordinate amount of money on books. When I was following like a ton of Marvel stuff, I was following all of the Avengers stuff, New Avengers, Normal Avengers, all the X Men books, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and yeah, I was spending Hulk. I was spending like over 200 alone on Marvel books. I think whenever they did the I think it was right after Marvel Now. I stepped away at that point because I just couldn't keep up with it. But and then as soon as I didn't feel that original Sin was executed well enough in the standalone event, then I just stepped away from it. So I know I've missed some keywords, some good stories in there, but I don't know. I just didn't want to dig through all of it to try to find what those stories were. So, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm enjoying. I enjoyed the twist on the recent Spidey. I like the philosophical angle that's going on with Hulk right now. Iron Man book seems like a lot of fun. Thor, I'm kind of lost in the woods on. I like the art in it, but I don't really know what's going on. So, and I think that's the main ones I'm getting. And I know they're gonna reset X Men here soon. I think they're doing Uncanny again, but I don't. I would like to start getting it again, but even the team they showed on the front of that, I really like. Okay, it's all right. It's like they've moved the popular kind of secondary characters from the X Men in the '90s to the forefront. It seems like I miss like the good leader Cyclops. I really liked Cyclops. I know a lot of people sympathized with Logan and thought he was a jerk, and then they just really pulled his character through the ringer with the X Men versus Avengers arc and everything that happened there, and he's just kind of never really came back from that. Yes, very much so, Keem. I think that had a lot to play with it, and because Kingdom Come came out around '95, I believe, or I could be wrong, but I think it had a definite nod to it or something along those lines. There's no way it couldn't have. I mean, those things aren't created in a vacuum, and I'm pretty sure like Bruce Timm and all of them were checking that book out. I remember I whenever the first one aired, it aired at like prime time as like an hour long special, and the whole thing with the opening where Bruce almost pulls a gun on that guy and shoots him, and then he says never again or whatever. And I remember that moment. It definitely gave me chills when I saw it for the first time. Also, Scarecrow is the villain right now. And then I heard that the Joker is coming back in Batman Beyond 2. I could be wrong though. Yeah, okay. That's good, Mango. Yeah, for me, I have just such a huge temptation to. It's like, oh, I can't. It's like I can't just get a run of a story. I'm just like, no, I'm picking it up anyway. I might as well see where it goes, and fill in the holes and buy the previous 12. Like, it's bad, like, and then I'll find myself in the place where it's like a year later. I'm just like, yeah, I don't have space for all these. So I know, like, the Marvel stuff that I had, like, I sold everything except for my Cap stuff because Cap's my favorite hero. Like, I decided just to keep my Cap books, but I sold all my other Marvel stuff that I was getting at that time. Just clean out right on Craigslist and got rid of it. And what I'm doing now is I'm just like, yeah, okay, and then I'll like just put it in my kid's box so he can have a budding collection. Because we don't make a ton of money, so it's hard for him to have his own money to go buy his own books. I get Sonic for him when it comes out and stuff like that, or I'll show him a story every now and then. But you know, we're not making a ton of stuff where the kids are getting like regular spending money, which stinks because it's definitely awesome to have like a normal allowance and stuff. And hopefully one day we will. But right now it's just like, okay, anything I'm not really married to, I immediately just like, okay, that's going to my kid's box. So, but I would love to have them have some stories that are really great in there too. But oh, for Batman Beyond, that one's only on 26, huh? Wow.
I want to be with you.
Please, Sean.
Okay. Hello, YouTube.
All right. Well, I guess we've reached our hour peak. Do you guys have any more questions or anything for me, or you want me to go, or what do you want to do? Seems like we've always reached this point every week, which it's just how it happens. There's really no clean break, especially when you've got kids running around. Oh, you do all digital. That's cool. Yeah, storage is huge. Oh, it's at 23. Okay. So you're talking about the solicitations then. Yeah, I like having my previews to check out, but every now and then I'm just like, oh, like there's only you can only be so clever with a cover sometimes. It's like you're gonna give away a plot point, you know. That's just the nature of the beast, you know. All right, have a good night, Mango. Team, do you have anything at all? Or are you good as well, buddy? All right, I'm going to take your stunned silence as you're okay, Keem. Well, thank you so much for showing up for me live. Thank you if you're watching this later. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Go check out the bowl #1. It's in the description below. It's only $5. It's running for about another week. Check it out. Nice. It's always nice to have free stuff. One day I aspire to play Magic, but not yet. But yeah, if there's nothing else, you all have a good day or a good night. Thanks so much. Bye.